This video explains how to use a marking guide, a quick way to grade material in a Moodle assignment. This allows for a variety of assignment types. You can use a written assignment, a computational assignment in math or the sciences, or even a drawing or diagram. Anything that can be uploaded to an assignment as a text document or a PDF can work with a marking guide. So to make a marking guide, the first thing you need to do is create an assignment. I'll show you later in this video how to add a marking guide to an assignment that already exists. So I've put my question in, and it has 4 parts, and you should fill in all the normal things like availability and submission types. For this video, the important thing is the grade type. In this case, we want to choose marking guide, and then click Save and Display. At this point, you can either define a new grading form from scratch, or you can use a grading form that you've already created and edit it as you please. We don't have a grading form or marking guide, so we'll click on Define New. And I'll give it a name. And I could also give it a description. But the critical part is down here, and depending on what you choose, you can show this to students. I would call each individual section by its question number, and then I would put in a description so students understand what it's about. In this case, since it's a very simple 4-question item, I would just put the question number for the title and the question text in the description. And then I can give it a score. For example, 25 points. I know it doesn't show that to you very well, but it'll become clear later on. And I can add as many criterion as I want. I have 4 questions, so I'm going to add 4 criteria. I don't have to have the maximum score even for all of them, so I can decide to weight one question more than the others, and therefore, in this case, one question less. I can also set up a list of frequently used comments. I can also do this while I'm working on it. I can add frequently used comments to my marking guide and as I figure out what they are. I recommend that you show your guide definition to students. This allows them to see the criteria for your grading for this assignment, and definitely show them marks per criteria so they know what the weights are. You don't have to put simple question numbers. You could put different criteria in here. For example, if you're assessing different pieces of the same like larger paper, so you might put how they put in citations, or how their argument or how they used evidence. Those kind of criteria are probably better for a rubric, but if you haven't quite figured out how you would want to develop a rubric, this is actually a pretty good way to help you move towards a rubric for your grading. And then I can either save it as a draft. If I'm not ready to show it to students, I'm still working on the text and so on. And then I just click Save Marking Guide and make it ready. and I'm all set. To add a marking guide to an assignment that you've already created, all you need to do is go to the cog and select Advanced Grading. And I can change the method here to Marking Guide, and it gives me the same page that we saw before. And I can either define a new marking guide from scratch, or I can use a template, and I'm going to show that now. So I'm going to click on that, and it tells me no template found, but that's because I haven't told it to include my own forms. And I like to throw in a word from the title if I can, otherwise you get a really long list of marking guides if you've already been using them. And it gives me the demo marking guide. The reason that you get a really long list is it allows you to edit the template that you used from a previous assignment to be specific to the new assignment if you want to. So it creates as many copies as you have assignments. So I'm going to use this form as a template. It asks me, am I absolutely sure? And I select Continue. And it tells me that it's ready for use. It's easy to grade using a marking guide. All I do is go to the assignment and click on Grade. And here's the assignment that my fake student turned in. And it gives me a comment box for each and every criteria that I put in. And I can write them in. I don't have any auto comments, but I could use those if I wanted to. And then I give it a number. And I can change my settings for what the students see. I can also put overall feedback comments in if I'd like. And then I save changes. And one of the nice things about the marking guide is that it does all of the addition for you. So you're all set. As always, if you have more questions, feel free to email us at moodlehelp@berkshirecc.edu.